with Macbeth, what I've sent you, and let me scroll in here so you can see, it's not touch screen. Please remember, every Shakespeare play has 5 acts to it. Always. It has to have 5 acts. And yes, they will be in Roman numerals. Right? And we'll learn more how to actually write up what act and what scene later on. When we really get some of these scenes under our belts, we'll be able to show how to write it down properly using uppercase and lowercase Roman numerals. I don't know if you've ever used lowercase Roman numerals before, but you are with Shakespeare. It's kind of the universal language of Shakespeare. If I wrote down uppercase Roman numeral 2, lowercase Roman numeral 4, that's Act 2, Scene 4. Yeah, so I'll show you how to do that, because that'll be something that stays with you throughout college. So you have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5, always 5 acts, but not every act has their own set number of scenes. Yeah, so some acts are going to have 2 or 3 scenes. One act in here is crazy. It's got 7 scenes.
Yeah.
That's a lot of scenes.
The first act.
Even for Shakespeare, that's a lot of scenes. Now, what a scene means is it's more for the people backstage. With every scene, you want to close the curtain and you want to have a change of scenery. Scene, scenery, get it?
Yeah.
So the change of scene lets your backstage people know, your stagehands know, all right, we need to get the trees off of the stage and we need to bring in the dining room table. Something like that. Okay, that change of scene. And the first act of the play has a whole bunch of them because we're in battle. All right, there's a battle going on. Now, what you would have found out from the documentary today, but we'll see how you are tomorrow with the chill. This play takes place over 1,000 years ago in northern Scotland. Let me get you a map of, let me pull up a map of Scotland, because I actually hope that they have Norway there as well so you can see. So this is where, I want Norway too. Will you give me Norway? You're not going to give me Norway. Let's do this.
Norway.
Well, I do want you to see that, because we're fighting the Norwegians in the first act of the play. Maybe I could do Scotland map and then just do Norway and see if they'll give me Norway, Sweden, and Finland.
How many times have you been in Norway?
Me?
Yeah.
Never been on it, been around it.
Really?
Yeah.
Where?
My husband's from this part of Scotland.
Can I fill up my water?
Yes. Okay, so you see Norway and Sweden here?
Whoa.
All right, now, really, it's right here, Denmark. Denmark is the birthplace of the Vikings. But it's only a hop, skip, and a jump. There's actually a bridge right there now between Denmark and Sweden. So a lot of people mistakenly think that Vikings are Swedish. They're actually Danish. Yeah, they're from Denmark. But they started conquering all this area. So the Vikings about 1,000 years ago are here, here, and then get into Norway here. Now, we're about to take a look at a different map of northern Scotland because that's our setting. For instance, my last name, it's not blood family, I'm married into it, but I'm Sutherland. But oddly, Sutherland is here at the tippy top of Scotland. But it's south of the Viking reign. You see what I'm saying? So, and then you've got Arctic Circle right here. It's always cold at this part of Scotland. You may have 2 hours of, it's kind of warm today. And that's it.
Wow.
All right, so now let's take a look at, let's get rid of Norway. And let me show you. Ba, ba, ba. Just a Scotland map will do. Let's see if they have Inverness on this one. And they do. Okay, this is where we're going. So there's all of Scotland. Most people have heard of Glasgow, Edinburgh. Here, there's Dumfries. Some people have heard of that. Yeah, but we're not there. We're up here at the super duper cold part of Scotland. So our story is going to take place in Inverness. Yeah? Which, as you can see, already has a bay in it. This would have been perfect for Viking raiders. But this play takes place before they or others started calling them Vikings. So you're going to hear about a battle going on in the first few pages where it's the Scottish people against the Norwegians. Later, we'll start calling them Viking raiders, but not right now. Because right now, it's just like a wolf pack. And they're going out and they're just trying to steal stuff in a boat. That's their getaway car. I mean, Viking ships were really actually pretty fast, but that was their getaway car.
That is.
You know? Later on, as the Norwegians, the Danish, and the Swedes, as they get more and more stuff from what they've stolen, they become a little bit less of a wolf pack and more of a raiding nation, and that's where you get Vikings from. Yes? Okay.
Sometimes I'm really happy. I love Dixie Dory.
All right, sorry about that. So here we go. We are here in Inverness. It's actually south of Sutherland, right here. So we're fighting the Norwegians. Are you ready? Okay, so now let me try to go back to show B. Yes, ma'am.
Are there different characters in every act, or?
Scene. Some scenes I'm going to need 10 people. Some scenes I'm going to need 2. Come on in and have a seat. I'm teaching. I don't know why, but you got to do it. We're not going to listen to her. You got to go when she tells you, okay?
Will everybody get to read?
All right, no, stop. All right, look at scene 1 of Act 1. Let's learn how a Shakespeare play works. First of all, I've sent you the Shakespeare side. This is the only side we're reading, by the way. And I've sent you the modern English of it right here. We don't read that. That is only for you if you get confused. Also, look here. It'll give you the character and what the character says. Above it, at the beginning of every scene, it's going to give you stage directions and setting. And that's important. For instance, every time the witches every time the witches are present, because sometimes they're there and you don't know it, but you find out later. Every time the witches are on the scene, there's always a storm. Thunder and lightning would be great whenever the witches are around. Then you have stage directions. Do you see the brackets there? We don't say anything in the brackets. The brackets are there for the actors to know when to walk on. The brackets might tell you, and then she cries. I like it when the bracket says dies, because then you know you're supposed to die. But you never say it. The bracket just gives you your directions. The best bracket ever was exit, pursued by a bear. Randomly in 12th night, there's no bear in the entire play. Someone is supposed to run off stage according to the stage directions, being chased by a random bear. For real. There was no bear anywhere in the play. Just, here, let's have a bear run across the stage. And then the person yells off stage, and I guess they were dinner. I don't know. It was weird. So we don't read anything in brackets. All right, now, here's what I need. I need for this page a first witch, a second witch, and a third witch. First?
Second.
Second?
We'll be third.
Figure it out.
First, second, third. Why did you want to be a witch? Say first, second. No, first, second. You're right first time.
Okay, now this is when I'll turn this around because basically this is just like me being back in college over in England working with the actors who were going on stage that night. We're doing a cold table read. So what I can do, what if I get an actor who's like, I've never read Shakespeare before, I don't know what this means. That's what I was there for. Okay, let me explain it to you. You know, that's what I did. Because not every actor is the smartest, you know, person ever. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, like, I have a feeling Tom Cruise might not be that smart.
Okay. But you're staring at me.
Why are they acting like this is Shakespeare compared to like?
Probably because they're hot. Yeah. Just saying. Okay, Hampton, fair warning, I'm turning this around for all to see because we have our witches here. We'll do a little movement so they can see. All right, so we're in an open place. There's thunder and lightning because our witches are on the scene. Enter our 3 witches. Shakespeare doesn't care how you do it. And by the way, I've seen them enter all kinds of crazy ways on stage. That's where he gives us freedom. All right, first witch, please remember we're only reading the left side, the true Shakespeare.
When shall we 3 meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
When the hurly-burly's done, when the battle's lost and won.
That will be in the set of sun.
Where the play?
All right, now it's our first foray. It's our beginning of Shakespeare. I want to make sure you understand what it means. So let me go back here to our actual script. Probably won't be doing this again because that's really hard to do. All right, first witch. Basically, we're planning on, I know it's Shakespeare talk, but I just want to make sure you understand what's being said right now. Do you get that these 3 witches are like, dude, when are we meeting again?
Yeah.
When the hurly-burly's done, whatever that is. By the way, it means battle. Okay? No, it says uproar over here, but you find out the uproar was a battle going on. Well, why don't we meet when the battle's done? The hurly-burly. Great word, by the way. One of Pistol's favorite vocab words. Hurly-burly is whenever there's a bad commotion going on, right? And they're like, well, I guess we'll meet then. Well, how long will that be? How long do battles take? Not very long. Typically a battle back in the old days, your history books never tell you this, but whenever you read about a battle, most people think that they took weeks or days, you know, and not all of them are like Gettysburg that took so long. Most battles, 30 to 45 minutes. Battles are basically organized riots. That's what a battle is.
But just killings.
Good 30 minutes.
The
The thing where Culloden, where Scotland actually lost its independence, they have that time. Less than 30 minutes. Less than 30 minutes. And you can visit the battlefield. Scotland lost its independence. Boom,
The
done.
Battle of Blitzkrieg.
Culloden. So, here we go. Well, when's that going to be? It'll be by the setting of the sun. So we should be able to meet before sunset. That's when the battle will be done. Are we cool?
Yeah.
With the Shakespeare talk.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next page. And let you little witchy poos keep on going. All right, second witch.
Upon the heat.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Mountain.
Oh, okay, ready? Now, whenever you're going to do an incantation, a spell, you want to do it all together. So how about on the count of 3?
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Paddock calls and fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Poof, however your director wants you to do it, you're gone. Okay?
Explode.
Now, here's what I like. When are we going to meet after the battle? Okay, when is that? Before sunset. Okay, where are we meeting? The heath. In Scotland, I want you to think of the heath, and I was telling your class today, I want you to think of a big field like we have out there, but always wet.
So sodden.
Exactly. Thank you.
Vocab.
Vocab me. So, I mean, legit, it's not like it's dirt. It's actually something that is flammable, not inflammable. Thank you. Oh, I got you. Because in Scotland and Ireland, they have this stuff called peat, and you could buy bags of it at like Lowe's and Home Depot. Peat moss that people put around plants, particularly indoor plants. Yeah. you can actually cut a cube of the peat from the heath, and you could burn it like you do wood in a fire. It's flammable. Like, it could actually heat your home where it's very cold because you're very near the Arctic Circle. All right, so we're meeting at the heath. We're meeting before sunset after the battle. No, and who are we going to meet? Just our main guy who, it's kind of our title character, Macbeth. All right, cool. Come on, Gray Malkin. And then I have a note. Gray Malkin tells you over here in the modern English that it's a she-cat. And I think we all understand after all the Harry Potters that if you're a witch and if you're a warlock, you should have a familiar. Harry Potter's was an owl. Most witches are known to have black cats. Ron Weasley, as we said before, had a rat.
Who was actually a person.
Exactly.
But Hermione's
So,
a cat.
the familiar, your Gray Malkin, this would be the witch's spirit animal. Okay? The witch's spirit animal. Let's change scenes.
I want to be a
Hold on. You're not going to shout at me. I'm still going to teach you your very first Shakespeare. Let's go to a camp near a very small town called Forest. It's still there. There is an alarm. That is how they spelled it in Shakespeare's day, within. We are going to see inside of the stage directions, which are in brackets. Enter King Duncan, his son Malcolm, his other son Donalbain, and then people who work for him. Lennox with some attendants, and they're meeting a bleeding soldier. So I need King Duncan right now. Okay. I need Malcolm, his son. Malcolm.
I'm looking for my right part now.
I need a Malcolm, or you're wasting my time. Malcolm, thank you. I need the soldier. You have a lot to say, but you'll be dead in a couple of pages. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Thank you. There's my soldier. Let me go ahead and get us set up for the next page. That's Duncan and the soldier. You're going to leave right about here and die. And I already have a Malcolm.
That's me.
I might get to a Lennox today. Thank you. Or you may be Lennox. I think that's how that.
Ross. There's also
Yes. This is kind of our role, adult child role. And can I have a Ross? You say very little.
I'll be Ross.
You're already dying. I need a Ross. No, Ross, thank you. All right, we may not get to that page. I have a lot of explaining to do, particularly when we first begin Shakespeare. Let me go to 3. All right, King Duncan, let me move this so we can get a good view of everyone as you do your table read.
Wait, who's King Duncan?
I thought you raised your hand for that.
I did.
No, that was Keller.
I did too. No, but she told us him. I didn't hear anybody say it. That's why.
All right, Duncan, let's go.
Who's Duncan?
What bloody man is that? He can report as seemeth by his flight of the revolt in
This
his
way.
state.
This is a sergeant who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend. Say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it.
All right, let me make sure because we're actually speaking some pretty good Shakespeare here, which should sound like some of you are in church and someone's reading the Bible to you. Because Shakespeare and the Bible written into English at the same time. King James was his king. Duncan is our king. His son is like, Dad, I've got a bloody soldier here who's here to report about what he saw at the battle. Will you speak with him? Absolutely. Bring him in. So now we're going to have a first-hand account by our bloody soldier who is about to die. Let's go for it.
Thoughtful it stood, as two soldiers thought do come together, and choke their art, their mercenaries with battle. Worthy to be a rebel, for to that. The multiplying villainies of nature, whose sworn upon him, from the western isles of current and ballo glasses is supplied.
Okay, hold up. You have just told us that there's a merciless MacDonald Wald who is a rebel causing all these problems. He's from the Western Isles. That could be like the Isle of Skye or all those islands you saw in the map that are Scottish. Or it could be worse. He could be Irish.
Oh no!
For real, okay? Now, You are a bleeding soldier. You're about to die. You still have a lot to say. And you're saying some words coming up pretty soon that actually weren't considered cuss words then. So let's go forward, and Miss Liz is okay as long as Mama is. Go.
Oh.
I've heard the gallo glasses.
Gallo glasses,
Gallo glasses is supplied. The portrait of his damned coral smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, belongs too weak.
It's in the Bible. They did not. You know what they can? I'll show you a song one day if you could actually like chill out one day. I'll play a song for you of all the Shakespeare cuss words. It's not what you think. It's not. If this was in the Bible, just like for Miss Liz, it's really not considered at that time cussing.
Yeah, and
The cuss words were crazy. I know you're dying, but once again, you have a lot to say. It's still you. Go to the next page, and here's our hero. Talk.
For brave Macbeth, oh my God, Macbeth.
make it death.
Macbeth, well, he deserves that name. The standing portrait with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like Marius minion, carved out passage till he faced the slave, and he near shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed from the nave to the chaps and fixed his head and put on adamant.
All right, Duncan, wait, because Sid, you know exactly what I've got to tell him, right? Here's what Macbeth did to this guy, this rebel, this Irishman. He brandished his steel, which would at that time have been a long sword. And once again, that's a two-hand pickup, very heavy sword. It's not like a fencing sword when you can kind of dance with it. It's like, oh my lord, I gotta kill you with this, okay?
It's like one of them giant.
So he brandished his steel. He took out his long sword. And then he went up to this traitor, MacDonald Wald, and he got him from the nave to the chaps, which is the navel, belly button, twist, hard up to the chin. Everything falls out.
Oh, that's cool, actually.
Then takes out the brandished seal. I've already told you it's cold every day in Scotland. Blood tends to be 98.6 degrees unless you got a really good case of COVID. So therefore you pull it out and it's steamy because of the hot blood. And then you take off his head. And like most Scotsmen, don't mess with me, don't come for me unless I send for you. Don't mess with me, am I right?
Put on a stick.
We're gonna put it right at the city gate. So you know what we do to people like you.
That's kind of
Welcome.
I know.
Okay. Stop. No. Duncan, let's go.
Oh, valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
You're still dying, but you still have a lot to say.
As winds the sun's grins his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders break. So from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark King of Scotland, mark. No sooner justice had than while you're armed, compelled these skipping currents to their heels. But the Norway lord, surveying vantage with furnished arms and new supplies of men, they get on fresh assault.
Yeah, so we've been battling with the Norwegians, and they actually brought them, our traders, fresh supplies. Like, it's really a difficult battle day. Okay? All right, Duncan, let's go.
Dismay not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo. Now, Macbeth, of course, it's called Macbeth. He's our title character. His childhood friend, who's still fighting alongside of him. And they're both generals, by the way. They're of equal standing right now, is Banquo. Yes, Hampton?
Can I be Malcolm?
We're not there yet, and someone else already is. All right, you're still not dead, soldier. You still have a lot to say.
Yes, a sparrow equals or hear the lion. If I say smooth, I must report they were as cannons overcharged with double cracks. So they doubly redoubled strokes among the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha.
That's where the crucifixion of Christ was. Golgotha. Golgotha.
Golgotha. Good luck trying to get me to say.
Yeah, okay.
I cannot tell, but I am faint. My gracious cry for help.
Yeah, remember you're dying because you're called the bleeding soldier. All right, Duncan.
So will thy words become thee as thy wounds they smack up on her boat. Go get them
Surgeons, yeah. So the soldier is exiting. He's attended. People are going to hopefully try and take care of you, but there's no hope. All right, Duncan, one more line.
Who comes here?
And Malcolm, his firstborn, get ready.
The worthy Thane of Ross.
And by the way, a Thane, they're going to talk about Thanes a lot, particularly the witches. The Thane at that time was kind of like the boss of the village. I want to say mayor, but it's a mayor that will hurt you.
Baron.
And while I truly love the mayor of Columbia and I think he's just like the man,
Yes.
he actually isn't going to try to hurt anybody. You know, he just looks like he could. You know, you didn't want to mess with the Thane. If it's anything, don't think of it as a mayor. They are in charge of the village. They're in charge of that area. It's kind of, I want you to think of it like, since they're so violent,
It's like a king.
like a mob boss. What were you going to say?
Like a king, but like of a smaller area.
Of a smaller area, but more like a mob boss because they're going to be ruthless too. You know, they're going to be super ruthless. All right, Lennox, let's go.
What a haze looks through his eyes. So should he look. That seems to speak in a scream.
All right, Rossi,
God save the king.
Duncan,
Whence camest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that villainous bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point rebellious, arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit and to include the victory fell on us.
yeah, hold on, Duncan. So what you're here to report, and you're from a different area, kind of close still. You're still in northern Scotland. You're in the Highlands. You're coming from Fife, and you're seeing where you just came from Norwegian banners, flags flying. And according to the rules, unofficial rules of war, if you plant a flag, you won.
It's yours.
Exactly. It's like the game Risk.
It's over.
It's over. So, this is the problem. The Norwegians who are trying to get themselves together to become Viking raiders, they're giving traders like MacDonald Wald weapons. Like MacDonald Wald is making some sad business going on with the Norwegians. And that's why he's a traitor to Scotland. So you're like, what do we do? I mean, we're trying to fight the Norwegians, but some of them are paying the Scottish people off to fight for them. It's like crazy. I don't know who to fight. So that's your problem. All right, Duncan.
Great happiness!
Thank you, Ross.
That now sooner the Norway's king craves composition, nor would we deign him burial of his men, till he dispersed at St. Holmes each $10,000 to our general use.
No more that Thane of
Cawdor
shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title read to death.
I'll see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Yeah, you were like, I'm totally firing that Thane of Cawdor. He did what? He gave what? Are you kidding me? Oh, you go fire him, and then let's make this Macbeth. You said it was Macbeth? It was also Macbeth. Macbeth. All right, let's give that guy. Let's let him be Thane of. What am I doing? Cawdor or what? Yeah, he can be Thane of Cawdor. That sounds great. If he had a good day, I like the trick with the sword from the belly button to the chin. Make a Thane of Cawdor. And you're like, okay, done. All right, you ready? Boom, boom.
Witches come back.
Witches, yes, witches come back.
I don't know, we didn't get this far today. In scene 2, which means my backstage people, you gotta quickly, while we have that curtain drawn, you gotta get that blood from the bleeding soldier off the stage. Sorry, but you are currently dying off stage.
Yeah, I'm already dead.
Oh, yeah, you're dead. That's right.
Waiting for the
So cleany clean, cleany clean. Please, let's make this look like a field. Okay? Thunder. Enter 3 witches. All right, witchy poos, let's do it.
Where hast thou been, sister?
Killing swine.
Sister, where thou?
A sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and
Munched and munched.
and munched. Give me, quoth I, arrant thee witch, the rump-fed Ryan cries.
By the way, when you say rump fed, rump means tiny. You're saying she's fat, like right there. And all you wanted were some of her chestnuts, and she said, "Go away, witch." And you're like, "I'm gonna kill you now." Go ahead.
To have you gone, Master O the tiger, but I see out thither sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do.
Oh, that might be a little spell you just did. I'm sorry, but who did you just kill? You didn't kill the rump-fed Runyon, a sloppy woman who didn't share her chestnuts with you. Do you know what you did? You sent a wind to her husband, a sailor in the Mediterranean near Aleppo, and you're gonna kill him. He's the captain of the ship called the Tiger. You are strong, mighty little witch.
Can I use the restroom?
Yes, second witchy poo, please. Oh, man.
Let's go.